The rapper got a $24 million pink diamond embedded in his forehead. So I thought it'd be a good idea for us to talk about pink diamonds, what they are, and why they're so expensive.
Everything I'm about to say, just my opinions, has nothing to do with any jewelry companies that I do work for, have worked for, will work for.
Diamonds are made entirely of carbon. A bunch of different carbon atoms that are all linked together, sharing covalent bonds. Now, with most colored diamonds, the way that you get different colors in there is by subbing out some of those carbon atoms for other elements. The most common is nitrogen, which creates yellow diamonds. Instead of having C, 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 you have like a bunch of C's, but then some N's thrown in instead. And that makes it yellow in appearance. Pink diamonds, totally different character because they stay all carbon. Scientists think that what causes diamonds to turn pink in appearance is actually what's called deformation of the crystal lattice. So the crystal lattice is sort of like a jungle gym structure. You know, when you think of those like cool dome things that you climb on as a kid, it's sort of like that. And it's basically all the different crystals being held together. If you are deforming it, you're basically smushing it or doing something that is going to offset the structure in such a way that as the light comes in and out, it's going to be disrupted differently. So think of it like this. You have your crystal structure, a bunch of carbons making a diamond. If it undergoes just the right amount of heat and the right amount of pressure, it starts to behave plastically. It starts to flow and move like a liquid. So when we talk about white light, like light from the sun or light from my lamp or my ring light, that is the full spectrum of colors being transmitted. All the different wavelengths, red to violet, are all being transmitted and our eyes picking that up, and as a result, we're able to see everything. So when we see a specific color, like my purple hair, it's because that particular wavelength is bouncing back out, and so that's what we're seeing. When the light comes in and then bounces back out on a white diamond, it's all the rays of light, all the rays of color. When a light comes in and then goes through that distorted crystal lattice, the pink bounces back out. And that's how you end up with a pink diamond. Why is this cool? Think about it. Your pressure and your temperature conditions have to be just right. If you're putting that much pressure on a diamond that you can alter its crystal structure, what's going to happen? Most likely, it's going to crack. It's just going to break into a bunch of pieces. You're going to shatter it. But if you have enough heat that all of a sudden it's moving and flowing, you're not going to crack it, you're going to bend it and kind of mold it like Play-Doh, like putty. It's really neat. But again, you have to have just the right temperature and just the right pressure, and you have to stay in that window long enough that it happens to the whole thing. So in and of itself, the fact that a diamond undergoes that kind of conditions and survives is amazing. But then it has to survive being rocketed from deep within the earth up to, through the mantle, through the crust, up to the surface, where it gets deposited somewhere that we then have to find it. When you have 10,000 carats of mined diamonds, only 1 carat is going to be any fancy colored diamonds. So right there, we're dealing with 0.01% of the world's mined diamonds are fancy colored. On top of that, then it has to be a pink diamond. Of the pink diamonds that are mined, only about 1% are over a carat in size. Keep in mind, the one in Lil Uzi's forehead, which is an absurd sentence, is estimated to be between 10 to 11 carats. That's huge. The other factor that goes into why this diamond is so expensive isn't just the size. It's also what we call the depth of color. A really, really, really light pink diamond is going to be worth less than a super bright pink diamond, because in that case, it's more rare to get a diamond that has undergone so much distortion that it's super pink versus a diamond that's only undergone a little bit, that it's just reflecting back a little bit of pink light. It kind of looks like the one that's in his forehead is a fancy intense, which is a mid-range kind of rarity. Was it really worth $24 million? And to that I say yes, because he paid $24 million. That's how it works. You will find lists of what pink diamonds have gone for historically at auction. Generally speaking, they fall in the 10 carat range. They do end up being around $20 million. His original jeweler, I think Elliot something, is going to put a markup on that. So yeah, he's got a $24 million diamond in his forehead. And it is, I would argue, rarer than the Infinity Stone.